What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on my channel. Over 300 subscribers now, so a big thank you to everyone who subscribed and enjoys the content. I really appreciate it. Didn't get a video out yesterday. I've been a little bit sick and just struggling. And to be fair, there wasn't much news, wasn't much transfer news. So I've tried to compile the 2 days into one. It's still not heaps. It must be a weekend thing. Obviously, nobody's working, probably, and they're just not getting articles out. Sorry if you hear any crying or just random noises in the background. I'm taking care of my daughter this morning while my fiance is working. So it won't be crying or anything. You should just make random noises. For you guys who have kids, you'll understand. So first of all, City are readying a Phillips deal of about £60 million from what I can gather, but that could be anywhere really between 50 and 70, I believe. I want to say this isn't going to happen because I think Phillips will stay for another year. I think he said the other day that he wants to stay for another year. So, you know, I would like him. I'd like him to stay. So hopefully that this is a bit of a non-starter. But you just know that Bielsa's been speaking to Pep Guardiola, and you just know that Pep's, you know, that Bielsa's got high praise of Phillips, and and Pep will be listening to him. So whether he suits the system, I'm not 100% sure, but you know, anyone playing under Pep Guardiola, you're probably going to be pretty good, and he's going to be able to make you fit the system. He wouldn't be. I don't think he'd be a starter, but that Man City squad gets rotated so much, it's ridiculous. So it wouldn't really matter too much. I think he would just rotate through. But fingers crossed he doesn't go. I want him to stay this year. Out of Phillips and Rafinha, I prefer Phillips to stay because I think you got more chance of him staying for longer term than anything else. Tarkowski. So Tarkowski's obviously touted to leave Burnley, who's got relegated by us. Everton and Newcastle also in for him. I do like Tarkowski. My only issue is I don't think we have another spot for a centre-half. We already have quite a few centre-halves. I spoke recently about Cooper being phased out, but you know, you have Cooper and Cooper, Stroik, Robin Koch, and Creswell. So I don't think we need a fifth centre half that's going to hinder Creswell's development and his chances to be brought into the squad. So I think it's a bit of a non-starter. Apparently Victor Orta is looking at it, but look, if you bring him in, and we've got Lorente as well, so that's 5 centre halves. If you bring Tarkowski in, you've probably got to look to move on 2 of those centre halves. I'd say you've got to move on Stroik it's not Stroik. You've got to move on Lorente and Cooper, I would say. But look, 4 centre halves is again probably too many. But yeah, I'd like Tarkowski. He would solidify the defence. We would become a lot better at set pieces and set piece defence if we were to bring him in. But yeah, I think it's a bit of a non-starter. I'd say that he's not a go-to. He seems like an Everton signing, if I'm honest with you. He's got that feel about it. But if he goes to Everton, he'll probably suck because they always do seem to, their centre-halves just seem to fail. So Barcelona can't afford Rafinha, as we've already discussed. They really need to make room by selling and moving on wages from Dembele. Chelsea are also now in for Rafinha, and it's also touted they're looking at Phillips as a backup to not getting Declan Rice. I don't think Phillips will go to Chelsea. I don't think he'd suit that system. I don't think he would suit having Tuchel as a manager. Rafinha would probably thrive, but again, I don't think. I don't know. I've said Chelsea and Man United are the 2 teams I don't want him to go to, just based on the fact I don't like those 2 teams, but I'd hate to see him score against us for them because you know it's going to happen. But look, if they're going to pay £65 million for him, then go for it because we need the money to bring more players in. Alternatively, I'd like to keep Rafinha, but at the same time, I don't know if he really fits the system. Playing as attacking midfielder, so we'll see what happens there. Rafinha sort of keeps rumbling on, and I'm just waiting for something to happen, but it hasn't happened yet, so I'm not too sure what's going on. And I feel like it's going to rumble on right until the start of the season. And you never know, he might be here for another season. He might sign another contract so we can make a bit of money out of him and say, look, play one more year, secure us staying up again, and then, then we'll let you go. Or he might, I'm not too sure when his contract's up, so he might look at just running the contract down and going to Barcelona on a free and getting better wages. You don't know. But again, I don't know when his contract's up. I don't know if it's at the end of this next season or if it's season after. So, sorry I don't have that one ready to go. Also, sorry if I'm a bit out of it. So if I'm just blabbing or I seem a bit slow, it's because I'm struggling. I've had no sleep and I was pretty much shaking in bed, really with the flu, really sick last night. Castellanos offered to Leeds and City has passed up their first option. So that's progressing. That Castellanos striker from New York City, New York City FC. I don't know enough about him. I spoke about him previously. I think he'd be a good signing. We just want to bring a striker at this point. And if we can't get a decent Premier League striker, what's the point? Might as well take a crack on this bloke and see what he can do. I don't know what he'd be looking at. I think he's about £20 million. I think I saw somewhere, or 15 to 20 million. Why not? He scored goals in the MLS. Even if he's just a link-up player, and as long as him and Bamford can work well together. I think I said this previously, if you can get the new striker, Bamford and Gelhardt, to score 25 to 30 goals between them, I think that'd be a great return, and I think that would be what we need. If you got, say, Gelhardt scores between 5 and 7, Bamford gets 10, and then 10 from the other guy, I think that's not too bad from your strike force. In the way of at least staying up again, I think that's what we need, because this year we didn't have anyone to score goals. I think Rafinha scored 11, but we didn't have a recognised striker all year. So next year, goals. We need to get the goals back. If we had the same attacking prowess this last year as what we did the year before, we wouldn't have been in the predicament we were in. Because some of those games where we could have just won the game quite easily by just being better offensively. Hopefully it was just a blip. Hopefully it was just one season where just the ball wasn't flying in the back of the net, because it did feel like that. It felt very unlucky. It felt like the rub of the green wasn't really there. The ball seemed to bounce the wrong way. I always had that feel about it in every game where it was like, oh, if that's anyone else, that goes in the back of the net. So, see what happens next year. Renya. So the Renya deal seems to be progressing. 18-year-old winger from Santos. Benfica were looking at him. I think it was Benfica, someone from Portugal. 18 years old. Could be a decent signing. He'll be one for the future, but he's very, very highly touted. And apparently Victor Orta has already put forward his... he's trying to the baby's starting to crack the shits. He's already put forward his presentation to him about why he should come to Leeds. So look, who knows? I'd like to bring in a good youngster from Santos, the next Neymar. That's where Neymar came from. And the last bit of news, I'll head off after this one. Jesse Marsch is to give Costa, Davis and Poveda a chance this season. Look, I think Leif Davis we should give a crack at left back. But I think Poveda and Costa have done their dash. Poveda hasn't been that great in the championship this year on loan, and Costa's just not good enough. So look, you can give him a crack, but I see that we're probably going to end up selling those guys along with like Tyler Roberts or whatever. But Leif Davis, I think we should give him a chance in pre-season. Anyway, so if you enjoyed the video, drop me a like, comment, subscribe. Again, I appreciate it. Sorry, again, I'm a bit out of it, and I'll try and get a video out tomorrow. Hopefully there's more news, because it's been absolutely dire the last 2 days. Peace.